2 expert tips to master Bikram HOT Yoga. And it can be Barkan, it could be Ghosh, it can really be any type of yoga for that matter. And I'm talking about,
drum roll.
Oh, drum roll, final shavasana. The final shavasana, not to be overlooked. In fact, I consider it to be the most important moment of the class, maybe even the day. It's when the entire process completes. One of Bikram's favorite sayings is contraction, relaxation. So in the pose, we contract and we hold the muscle really, really tight to actually cut off the blood circulation to that particular target area. Then when we release out of the pose, the blood and oxygen is flowing into the body. Now the final shavasana is when every single area of the body has been contracted, and now we're in this complete relaxation state. Shavasana actually means dead man's pose or corpse pose. So here we are laying in this wonderful position, no tension at all, and all the blood and oxygen is flowing into the body. And it's smart because it seeks out the areas that are tight, the areas that are imbalanced, and flows to those areas with even more intention. Now I'm going to share with you 2 pranayama or meditation techniques, it really doesn't matter what you call it, that we can practice, that you can practice after the class is over. And at the end of this video, I'm going to guide you into these 2 pranayama meditation techniques. So make sure you watch the video all the way to the end. Before we continue on, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, smash the like button if you're enjoying this video. You want to learn all about hot yoga, tutorials, flows, factoids, hit the subscribe button and the like button right now. Now these 2 meditation pranayama techniques, you can practice whenever you want. But what happens is when we're lying in that final shavasana, your body and your mind are so willing to let go, so now you want to take advantage of this moment. Because if you're just sitting in meditation, a lot of people do not like meditation because the mind is wandering. They call it in yoga the monkey mind. It's hard to sit still, calm the mind, and get centered. But after yoga class, you are spent physically, mentally, and maybe spiritually. You are spent physically and mentally. So now it's so much easier to let go. And now the meditation pranayama techniques is really going to take effect. And then you can use it as a reference for when you want to meditate later. Think of that moment in the final shavasana. Now you have a choice, or you can just lay there in your own pool of sweat, completely exhausted and waiting for the teacher to tell you it's time to leave, or can you take advantage of this opportune moment to quiet the mind and allow the pranic energy to now direct it with your thoughts into the body. That's what pranayama means. A yama, the extension of the prana, the life force energy. And now through these breathing techniques, we're going to channel that energy into the body. And this is where the mental and the spiritual and the emotional benefits take place, not just the physical. So yes, physically, the contraction, the relaxation is going to build the cells in the body. But from the spiritual point of view, the prana shakti is now released. The prana shakti energy goes between the cells to heal and build the ethereal body. That's why they call this holistic high. It's not just physical, but mental, spiritual, emotional. Now, when you can use these techniques, direct them into the physical and ethereal body, what a difference it's going to make. Now, in my yoga classes, I pretty much do 1 or 2 of these techniques all the time, sometimes 2. And if you're interested in taking class with me and you don't live in Fort Lauderdale, you can sign up for the Barkan Method on-demand membership. There's over 500 classes. I've been recording every class that I've taught since the pandemic, and I do these techniques at the end. So we'd love you to join the membership. There's a 7-day free trial. Click the link below. And we're staying on our lineage because both of these techniques were taught by Paramahansa Yogananda. If you've been watching this channel, you probably already know who he is, just in case you don't. Bikram's teacher was Vishnu Ghosh. Vishnu Ghosh's brother and his teacher and his guru was Paramahansa Yogananda, arguably the most famous yogi to ever come to the United States from India, come to the West from India. And these 2 breathing techniques that he passed on to me through his organization, Self-Realization Fellowship, I'm now passing on to you. So the first technique is called Spinal Pranayama. It's really the foundation for what Yogananda calls Kriya Yoga that was passed down through his guru, Babaji, which is spinal pranayama. So you're going to lay in your shavasana. You're going to shift your gaze into the third eye. Just the gentle shift of your gaze will help to quiet the mind's chatter. They've done studies on that. Actually quiets areas in the brain. So shift your gaze, and you're not really crossing your eyes to the third eye. You're laying in shavasana, and you're going to imagine that the breath starts at the very base of the spine, or the root chakra, if you will. So here's that energy that's laying dormant for most people at the base of the spine. As we inhale, we're going to visualize the spine coiling up the center channel. In yoga, we call it the Sushumna Nadi, the center channel. As you inhale it from the lower spine, it shoots all the way up the chakras, all the way up the spinal center, all the way up the spine to the third eye. On the exhale, it's going to reverse spiral all the way back down. It's very simple. to the root chakra. Inhale, it rises up. Exhale, it has a reverse spiral down. You can also think too, when let's say you're into the third or fourth breath, you can think that the breath is rising up through the central nervous system. And on the exhale, it's lowering down and out through the peripheral nervous system. It radiates out into every area of your being. So now we are consciously, through the breath, through our thoughts, extending the life force energy into every part of our being. Remember, not just the physical, not just the cells, but in between the cells. The prana shakti is now awakened and distributed. And you want to take your time with the breath. Maybe you can only take a 3-4 second inhale and then a 3 or 4 second exhale. You want to try to make it even. So if you're breathing in for 3 seconds, breathe out for 3 seconds. As you get more advanced, you can increase the time. I can go 30, 40, 50 seconds on an inhale and on the exhale, but that's going to take time and experience. The concept is we slow the heart rate and we slow the mind's chatter. This is Patanjali's Raja Yoga, Yoga of the Mind. As we slow the mind's chatter, now we find this meditative state. And what's great about, because you're in the final shavasana and because you are physically and mentally spent, if you're doing a 90-minute class, 75-minute class, maybe even a 60-minute class, especially in the heat, we take advantage of this time to quiet the mind and quiet the body. So that's the first technique we're going to practice together. And this is really the foundation of what Paramahansa Yogananda and his guru's guru Babaji calls Kriya Yoga, even though this is not the Kriya Yoga technique. I was initiated into Kriya Yoga on March 30th, 1983. And I took a vow not to disclose the techniques. If you want to learn to become certified in Kriya Yoga, you want to go directly to the source. However, spinal pranayama is not Kriya Yoga, but it's the premise of it. It's raising the pranic energy up the spine, up the center channel of the Sushumna, and down the spine. And as we raise the pranic energy up, actually, the pranic energy rises up and the apana energy lowers down. As we start to manipulate the breath and the energy of the life force, pranapan, we're quieting the mind, we're slowing the heart rate and quieting the mind. Now, I don't want you to get caught up in the Sanskrit word. Hong-Sau actually means, literal translation, I am He. And this has the argument about dualism and non-dualism, connecting to the source, connecting to the divine, connecting to the universe. But if you don't want to say Hong-Sau, you don't have to. But it's the breathing technique, the pranayama, that's so powerful. So what happens is we're going to do about 10 of the spinal pranayams. But after we do about 10 of these spinal pranayams, what we're going to do is we're going to practice the Hong-Sau technique. We're going to pause between each breath. So as we take a deep breath in, you say to yourself the word Hong, H-O-N-G. And then you hold your breath 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Again, as you get more experience, the gap can increase to 10 seconds, maybe even 12. And on the exhale, you say the word Sa. Even though it's spelled S-A-U, it's pronounced S-A-W. So Hong-Sau. And again, if you don't want to get into the Sanskrit, don't even say it. You're going to inhale, hold the breath for a few seconds. And when it's time for you to exhale, so you're not really holding your breath. It's not a technique in holding your breath. When it's time for you to exhale, you say Sa. Again, you don't have to say it if you don't want to. And then you pause. We're taking pauses between each inhale and each exhale. So what this technique, this Hong-Sau technique, or the pause between each inhale and each exhale, we're getting used to the sensation of being breathless. The first stage of enlightenment they call Salvikalpa Samadhi. It's a breathless state where the yogi actually his life force energy will leave his body. It's like an out-of-body experience, and they're actually not breathing, and they can stay there for a long period of time. Believe it or not. But you can definitely do it for a short period of time. That's something you can wrap your head around. So in this moment between each breath, in this breathless moment, as you pause between each breath, you're going to pause between each thought. You're going to envision the thoughts drifting across your inner vision, which we're going to guide you through in the meditation technique. So we're going to do spinal pranayama and Hong-Sau in the final shavasana, and I want you to take this to the next class that you do. Now, if you want to practice these two techniques with me at home, sit up nice and tall. It's better if you're sitting up. However, in the hot yoga class, you're probably not going to want to sit up. It's okay to lie down because you're going to take advantage of this state of mind, physically and mentally. So let's take advantage of it. So you're sitting at home, sit up nice and tall. Remember, you're going to shift your gaze to the third eye. If you want to lay on the floor, go ahead and lay on the floor. Here we go. Find your center, find your breath. Shift your gaze into the third eye, the spot between your eyebrows. Not really crossing your eyes, just the gentle shift of your gaze helps to quiet the mind's chatter. And as you inhale, it begins to coil up. On the exhale, In a reverse spiral, coils down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, it rises up the central nervous system. And on the exhale, in its reverse spiral, it lowers down and out the peripheral nervous system. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keeping your eye gaze, the third eye. Inhale, it rises up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do two more of these. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Continue to look into the third eye. As we practice Hong-Sau technique, we're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to hold the breath for only a few seconds. And as you inhale, say the word Hong. And on the exhale, we let the breath out. And again, hold it for a few seconds and say the word Sa. So here we go. Inhale, Hong. Hold. Sa. Hold. Inhale, Hong. Hold. Exhale, Sa. Hold. Inhale, Hong. Hold. Exhale, Sa. Hold. Inhale, Hong. Hold. Exhale, Sa. Hold. Now I'm going to let you do this on your own for a few times. And as you take a pause between each breath, a gap between each breath, find a gap between each thought. Sa. Hold. Allow the thoughts to drift across the inner vision of your mind without judgment, like clouds across the sky. Focus your attention on the blue sky between the clouds, the gap between your thoughts. Let's do a few more. Hong-Sau. And allow your breath to come back to normal. Come back into the room. And slowly open your eyes. So once again, I invite you to take advantage of this most important moment. Like I say, definitely I consider it to be the most important moment of the class, possibly the most important moment of the entire day. And now when we can direct our thoughts and the breathing techniques, these two pranayama techniques, we can exaggerate the phenomenon. We can extend the life force energy into the body, not just the physical, but the ethereal body. It's a game changer. It'll transform your life, definitely your practice. So don't lay there in your pool of sweat next time. Really channel these techniques, use them to your advantage, and then take them off the mat when you want to meditate. These are two great meditation techniques you can use. So that's our episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the like button. Any comments or questions, put them down below. I'm happy to get back to you, and I'll see you the next video. Bye, everyone.